Shabbat Shalom. As twilight shimmers and the week gently loosens its hold, we gather to welcome Shabbat with open hearts. May the light of Shabbat soften what has been heavy, restore what has been weary, and bless us with deep peace. Please turn to page 10 as we welcome Shabbat and sing together, Ma Yafeh Hayom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom, Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Please turn to page 3 as we read together, O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. It is now my pleasure to call up our travelers who have returned, Bob and Gina Weston, to light the Shabbat candles. The blessing can be found on page 6. I'm sorry, page 2. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you, Bob and Gina. Welcome home. Now we will turn to page 6 and read together, beginning with May the door. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its thresholds be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Please turn to page 13 as we sing praise to God's creation.
And you have a part. This is a new tune that you may not have heard from Nava Tehillah, but you need to do ay, 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 ay. Anybody have an ay, ay, ay week? Here's your chance. Ay, 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 ay. You'll see where it comes. Sadai, V'chol asher bo ya'alo Sadai. Ay, 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 ay. Excellent. Okay, I'm going to teach you. Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo ya'alo Sadai. Ay, 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 ay. Ya'alo Sadai, V'chol asher bo ya'alo Sadai. Ay, 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 ay. As you run a new kolat say, 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 ya'alo Sadai, v'chol asher bo ya'alo Sadai. Ya'alo Sadai, v'chol asher bo ya'alo Sadai. Ay, 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 ay.
Lecha Dodi, come, my beloved, reminds us that holiness is not something we wait to find. It is something we must prepare our hearts to welcome. Please turn to page 20. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9, and we will stand and face the door of the chapel on verse 9.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmianu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, u'shmo echad, l'shem hu tiferet ve'litchila. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, v'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor haberacha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'machshava tefi.
remain standing for the Baruch Hu on page 28. You may be seated. Please join me in reading on page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of life. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of life. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Love in Judaism is not merely a feeling. It is a way of paying attention. It shapes the way we see the world, and in turn, the way we respond to it. Ahavat Olam speaks of God's enduring love, a love expressed not only through words of comfort, but through Torah itself, which teaches us how to notice, how to remember, and how to love. Please turn to page 32 as we sing together.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Let's do it again. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Day and night, show us the way, teaching us to number our days, when we rise and when we lie down. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta.
Please rise if you are able for the Shema on page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
You may be seated. We will continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 36.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levacha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'chayu ha'dvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam v'shivtecha v'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech u'shochbecha uv'kunecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'chayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeichi etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. We will now read together on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered at Sinai. Ourselves to your way, inspired by prophets and instructed by sages. Time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, sing on the shores of the sea. We continue with Micha Mocha on page 40.
Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh. Norah tehilot, osei felech, Norah tehilot, osei felech, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Malchutecha ra'u panecha, bokei hayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh.
As evening falls, we ask the divine to spread over us a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace. A sukkah is not built of stone or steel. It is intentionally fragile, reminding us that true security is not found in walls, but in the relationships that hold and sustain us. Please turn to page 42 for Hashkivenu.
Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukkah, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukkah, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al kol amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim shalom. Baruch atah Adonai, hapurei sukkah, shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael.
We will now begin our standing prayer on page 46. If you are able, please rise. Adonai sechatai tifta ufiyahi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei
Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated. I will be reading from page 53. Where might I go to find you, exalted hidden one? Yet where would I not go to find you, ever-present, eternal one? My heart cries out to you. Please draw near to me. The moment I reach out for you, I find you reaching in for me. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. As part of our communal prayers, we take a moment to lift up the state of Israel. Please join together on page 259 in your Siddur. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread it over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We now take a few moments for silent prayer or meditation. No one is meant to carry life's burdens alone. In the Mishaberach, we surround those in need of healing with the strength of community, lifting their names together and holding them in hope. I will now come around the room, and if there are any names you would like to share with the community, please do so. Please turn to page 253 for the Mishaberach. Shabbat Shalom. It was just about this time, 5 years ago, that I landed in Israel for the beginning of my 5-year rabbinic program. We were based in Jerusalem, and I was staying in a lovely neighborhood called Yemen Moshe, which had been built by the British financier Moses Montefiore in the 1800s to house the overflowing workers who no longer were contained in the old city. On one of my first days there, I was walking around this beautiful neighborhood with the views of the old city and multiple platforms. It's stepwise. It's the houses are built multi-layers, multiple steps into the hills. And I came upon one of the biggest lookouts in the neighborhood. And to my great surprise, it was crowded with huge flower arches and people all over the place. There were little tables with champagne bottles and champagne flutes and boom boxes with Hebrew, what I assume were love songs playing. It was Tu B'Av. And there is the tradition in Israel to get engaged on this day. And unbeknownst to me, a new arrival in the city of light, I had no idea what was going on, but I was transfixed. Tu B'Av was this past Wednesday, and I did not see any big heart arches in Jacksonville. But that memory has stayed with me, and that love and that beauty I will carry with me always. Unlike Yom Kippur, Passover, or Sukkot, Tu B'Av does not have its origin in the Torah, in the 5 books. It is a rabbinic holiday that emerged during the late Second Temple period and has taken shape in the centuries that have followed. Tu B'Av, a day celebrating love, first appears in rabbinic literature at the very end of the Mishnah's tractate Ta'anit, which means fasts, as in fasting. The section of the Mishnah devoted to communal fast, drought, public suffering, and mourning. After pages devoted to affliction, the tractate closes not with lament, but with joy. There were no days as joyful for Israel as the 15th of Av, which is Tu B'Av, and Yom Kippur. We will follow up on that in a few more weeks. when the daughters of Jerusalem would go out and dance in the vineyards. What would they say? They would say, "Young man, lift up your eyes and see what you chose for yourself a wife." It was a courting ritual that happened during the grape harvest. Why did the rabbis conclude a tractate about sorrow with a vision of such celebration? Why do joy and hope follow sorrow? The rabbis were teaching us that Jewish time does not move from joy to despair. Rather, it moves through despair toward renewed life. After destruction comes rebuilding. After estrangement comes relationship. After heartbreak comes the possibility of love and life anew. Courtship, engagement, marriages, family. The rabbis were asking the question that stands at the heart of this week's Torah portion, Akev. What comes next? Akev is often translated as because or as a consequence of. The root itself literally means heel, which might make you think of another association. It is from the same root from which Jacob, Yaakov, receives his name because he grasped at his brother's heel while they were being born. Hebrew rarely settles for only one meaning. The rabbis delighted in precisely this richness. A single word opens several interpretive doors at once. Akev is consequence, but it also has the sense of what follows. It is literally what comes on the heels of something. It suggests sequence, relationship, movement, more than mechanical causation. One thing that gives rise to another, not as the predictable motions of gears in a machine, but as one step naturally follows another in a trajectory. This distinction matters because it adds depth and richness to what Devarim, which we call the book of Deuteronomy, sets out to do. Its Greek title, from Deuteronomos, literally two laws, is a name that has shaped centuries of assumptions. And as we know, Judaism itself is often caricatured as a religion of laws, regulations, obligations, and rules. But Deuteronomy is not primarily interested in creating better rule followers. It is interested in forming a covenantal people. Contracts define obligations. Covenants, on the other hand, create relationships. Contracts ask, "What must I do?" Covenant asks, "Who are we becoming together?" Covenant lives in the space between persons and in the space between us and the divine. Again and again, Moses reminds Israel not simply what they are to do, but who they are becoming. The commandments are embedded inside a relationship that begins not with human obedience, but with divine love. Just before our parsha begins, Moses tells the people, "It was not because you were more numerous than any other people that the Eternal set God's heart on you and chose you. Indeed, you are the smallest of peoples. Rather, it was because the Eternal loved you." Torah flows on the heels of this divine love. In fact, the word Torah comes from the root yara, which means to direct, to point, to guide. A guide does not eliminate judgment and creativity. Quite the opposite. A guide helps us learn how to inhabit a landscape that is larger than ourselves. Imagine you're hiking through unfamiliar mountains. A map does not tell us every step to take. It teaches us how to read the terrain. It helps us recognize where there might be dangers, as well as appreciate beauty, and to find our way when the path becomes unclear. This is Torah. While it certainly contains commandments, its larger purpose is to shape perception. It begins not with action, but with attention. Shema. It calls us to listen deeply, to pay attention, to take heed, notice of ourselves, our relationships, and the world we inhabit. This is precisely what Moses is doing through Deuteronomy. Notice what occupies his attention. He tells the Israelites, "You shall remember the entire journey that the eternal your God has made you travel for 40 years in the wilderness." Memory becomes a spiritual discipline. The people are not simply commanded to obey. They are taught to interpret their own lives, to recognize that even in the wilderness, they were being formed. A few verses later, Moses imagines the day when they will finally know security and abundance. They will build homes, prosper, and eat their fill. His concern is striking. He does not warn first that they may break the commandments. He warns that they may forget. Take care, lest your heart grow haughty and you forget the eternal your God. It is forgetfulness, not disobedience, that is the deeper danger, because forgetfulness changes the way one sees the world. Gratitude disappears, humility evaporates. One begins to imagine that everything has been accomplished by one's own strength. Taken together, these passages reveal how Torah is teaching us to become attentive, grateful, humble, compassionate, and alive to the presence of God and the divine creation. God's love through covenant is not intended to produce mechanical obedience. It invites relationship, one in which each generation learns anew how to answer love with love, justice with mercy, memory with responsibility. The life of Torah is therefore not exhausted by asking, "What is required of me?" It is more pressingly asked, "What kind of person is God inviting me to become?" Perhaps this is where our Parsha Akev reveals its deepest meaning. What then follows on the heels of God's covenantal love? Not legalism, but a way of being in the world. A people whose imaginations have been schooled by gratitude, whose memories give rise to compassion, and whose awareness opens them to bringing holiness into the world. The rabbis could have left the long shadow of Tisha B'Av, which precedes Tu B'Av by 5 days. They could have allowed mourning to dominate the season. Instead, they placed Tu B'Av immediately on its heels. That was not merely a scheduling decision. It was their way of teaching us that Jewish time itself carries moral meaning. What follows destruction? Love. What follows despair? Relationship. What follows exile? The possibility of beginning again. Seen in this light, Tu B'Av becomes far more than a pleasant holiday on the calendar. The rabbis could have allowed grief to dominate the season. They understood that covenant never leaves us trapped inside catastrophe. It insists that destruction is never the final chapter. It asks us to remain open to relationship even after disappointment, to hope even after loss, and to the possibility that love can help us to generate a future we cannot yet imagine. The daughters of Jerusalem did not dance because sorrow never happened. They danced because sorrow is not permitted to have the final word. Perhaps this is the gift hidden in our Parsha this week, Akev. Every moment arrives on the heels of another, but no moment is imprisoned by the one before it. That is very liberating. Each becomes the threshold of a future still waiting to be imagined, an invitation to step out, to put down our heels as we walk again and again toward life. Shabbat Shalom. We will now stand for the Elenu on page 282. You may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth. We read together on the bottom of page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. I am now going to share the names that we are remembering together as a community. During the period of Shlushim, the first 30 days, we remember Bernie Nachman and Sandra Strom. We are also remembering Belle Bear, Sadie Bodziner, William Bronstein, Daniel Cherwin, Alex Cloth, Fred Edelman, Isadora Fagan, Sophie S. Finkelstein, Paul Friedman, Morris Gottfried, Vivian B. Greenspan, Elliot Hammer, Ela Hess, Bennett Hirsch, Marjorie Jacobs, Shirley S. Joseph, Morris Kidder, Maurice H. Meyer, Mildred Pargam, Murray Schwartz, Bernard Melvin Siegel, H.C. Sims III, Shirley Snyder, Sarah Snyder, David Stein, Rachel Weinstein, Joseph Wetstein, and Lonnie Wern. If there are people you are remembering today and would like to share their names with us, please do so as my eyes move around the sanctuary. Please rise if you are able for the Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitgadah v'yitgadah Shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra hirutei, v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayehon uvyomechon uv'chaye lechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru, Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach ve'alam u'elnei almaya, Yitbarak ve'yishtabak ve'yitpa'ar, Yitramam ve'yitnaseh, ve'yithadar ve'yithaleh ve'yithalal, Shmei Kusha Brihu, La'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbachata v'nechamata, Ta'amiran v'yama v'yibru, Yehei Shlama Rabba Mishemaya, V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Osei Shalom B'imrama, Hu Ya'asei Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru. You may be seated. It is now my pleasure to invite up our temple treasurer, Matthew Edelman, to read this week's announcements.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Matthew, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, we are delighted to welcome you to Temple for Shabbat. Join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Torah study led by Rabbi Bell. This is your last chance to join us for the Brotherhood and Sisterhood musical bingo tomorrow night, starting at 5:30 here at Temple, catered by Gruby's Jewish Deli. So if you're interested, please see Marie Righteous, who's over here. Our Temple Religious School is seeking a few teachers for the coming school year. Please contact Lori Eisenberg Castro with your name if interested. We would be honored to include the names of your loved ones in this year's printed Yisker book. The deadline is September 14th. For more information, please refer to our website. Join us for Back to School Shabbat featuring our Friday Night Live band on Friday, August 21st, as we bless our students as they begin a new school year. If you plan on attending the dinner ahead of the service, please RSVP as soon as possible. Finally, please refer to the back of your worship pamphlets to save the date for more upcoming events and programs at Temple. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you very much, Matthew. We will now close with a song I think many of us know. I don't know if it'll be part of the bingo tomorrow night.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be.
What a wonderful world.
If you are buying in, and I hope you are, to the beautiful words that Rabbi Bell shared with us about possibility, and you know the words, please sing along. If not, allow this to fill you with a little bit of hope. I see trees of green, red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
That was so beautiful. Thank you, Joellen. We will conclude with Kiddush Motzi, and it's my pleasure to invite Wyatt Bowers up to help us.
Dress up for Shabbat.
Does not stop you getting voluntold. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei v'rich ha'gafen. Amen.
Can I call an audible?
Yeah?
Invite the Frieder twins up. Holler.
Ah, yay. Great idea. Woohoo!
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Woohoo!